Hi. I just wanted to make a chill video. And I figured we could make it a lunch with Travis if that's okay with you. I hope that this mic is working right. It's my third attempt at this. Sorry if the music's a It's got that lo-fi. I've fallen in love with the lo-fi channel. I fall asleep to it. But yeah, no, my bottle is over here, but I can't find a desk stand that can withstand. I think it's like 7 pounds. So I can't find a desk boom arm that can hold its weight. So I've been testing out different mics and stuff. This is a baby bottle, so it's like it's little, bro. I mean, it's nothing compared to the actual. I mean, this is a $5,000 mic over here, but yeah, I think this was 200 or 300, but seems to be doing better than the other ones. So, but let me know if this is too loud or too low in the comments. But regardless, yeah, lunch with Travis. I think we're on episode 8. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'll check before I upload it. Maybe 9. I got some watermelon here, and I got some assorted peanuts, almonds, cashews, and such. Because if you remember in my last video, or one of my previous recent talkative videos, was me talking about that my stomach just can't handle much anymore. I'm getting better. It's getting better, but the doctor told me due to the damage that I had done just from the drinking, it's gonna take a while. But my go-to, even so, if you go a long time without eating, which any diehard alcoholic can tell you that after, like, when you're hungover, the last fucking thing you want is food, and the longer you go without food, the more your stomach closes up in preparation for, it's just primal, like we're gonna starve now, so it starts preserving and such. But my go-to to always eat, like when I'd get the detox and stuff and they were like, will you eat anything? It was watermelon, because this seems to be the easiest to go down. So at this point it's just comfort food to me, but I really like it. So I like it so much, in fact, that so I quit smoking around September of last year, and then I had a panic attack. I'm gonna say in early January, and so I was like, fuck it, I'm going to get some cigarettes. So I smoked for another, I want to say, a month and a half or so before I was like, this is just dumb, so I gotta put this down. But I realized that what I'm really more addicted to than anything was just the motor function of it, so I built myself a little vape. Well, I didn't build this one. This one's made by a guy named Amo Mixani. AIMOMIXANI. This is the 90-second one that he's made. I think he's in Switzerland. If you're part of like the vape community or whatever. God, I wish that would show. But yeah, the it's called the Nemesis, and it's pretty straightforward. The battery just goes in there. It works very much like the one that I had. If you look at my up to Oregon, the going home video, for 10 years ago, damn. But yeah, you'll see I had one of these with me, usually sitting in that driver's side table that I had there. But yeah. So sometimes I'll put a little bit of nicotine in there, like 3 to 6%, but for the most flavor, my favorite right now is that one. Oh, I had it around here somewhere. But what led me to talking about it was the fact that I wish I could find it to show you, but it's watermelon cream, so tastes good, but But yeah, no, like I went out and well, I didn't go out physically, but I just got a bunch of new like drip tips in, which is basically just mouthpieces and stuff. Gone through a lot of, just fuck it, just believe me, but I'm proud of it, it's my first build, and yeah. This mic is also convenient because I can smoke in front of it. I'm not I mean, I don't. The last thing I want to fuck around is the last thing I want to damage is that mic. Is that blue. So this one is $300. You know what I'm saying? That's that's nothing compared to the bottle. So, anyways, I do have some things here that I want to go over. Oh, one thing that I need to make very clear. I'm going to try to keep most of these topics fairly lighthearted, but I think this needs to be said with a serious backtone because I am not an influencer. I'm not saying that anybody here called me that, but if you go to my videos, a lot of my recently uploaded videos within the last, you know, even the ones like before my hiatus, some of them like they're like automatically now under like the influencer genre or whatever. Let me make it clear. Do not use my channel as a template for how to live your life. Okay? I'm just documenting myself growing here. That's it. Don't go do some dumb shit and then when people ask like, well, who influenced you, and then point to me. Okay, when I got into this when I was 12 years old, it was YouTube. Broadcast yourself. That's what I signed up for. Not YouTube, quit your job and tell people how to live their lives. Like, no. Okay, please do not use my channel as a template for how to do things right. I'm just trying and failing and hopefully getting a little better at it over time. And I'm documenting it. And I don't know why I document it. I talked about that in my last video. Or maybe the previous one. Not the clip smash, but the 2 updates. Talked about it briefly, like why I do this, and you know, I don't know why. I just know that I need to, for the same reason that I just record random times and spaces that I'm in and just make. It's because I think it comes from me having been forced out and to go away and to change things in schools and hometowns and places just all the fucking time, and it was so unpredictable all the time, especially towards the end there with my mom's cancer and Darren around and just all the drugs and the economy had just crashed, and like it was 2008, 2000, like it takes its toll. But you guys seem to accept it, and for now I guess that's what I do it for. But I don't know if this is just my maternal instinct kicking in because I'm, you know, in my 30s now, but I don't know, maybe it's for a kid one day, maybe, I don't know. All I know is that it feels right when I do it. And the fact that anybody is here watching it, you know, makes me almost tear up sometimes. But yeah, I am not an influencer. Please, let me make that absolutely clear. I don't know how to change it. It's just on there. Speaking of which, I've been thinking of unprivating a lot of my old videos. I obviously can't do all of them because some of them are taken down because, you know, somebody that was in it, you know, reached out to me and was like, hey, if you don't mind, you know, and I'm like, cool, I got you. And some of them are just, it's embarrassing if you want the truth. Like a lot of like my early rap and stuff, it wasn't until the Shady 2.0 cipher that I realized how to hold on to a multi and write a beat with it. And like, I realized like things had clicked in me between whatever I had done previously to that and the Shady 2.0 thing, that I was like, oh, I get it. I remember I was listening to a lot of Bad Season. If you really want the truth on how I learned to rap fast, it was like, I had always been able to keep up with tech, because I'm a tech fan forever. Go back to my Just Another Druid stuff. Watch my stuff from like 2007. Like, I was using his music, like it was earlier. I found tech in 2005. Somebody came up to me at the skate park, and we used to let each other borrow our iPods or whatever to skate around with. And one dude was like, "Yo, you gotta check this dude out." And it was Einstein, and it was like a pre-release version of The Beast. I remember that because I remember that as soon as I went home, I got on MySpace and I found the dude, and he was promoting the upcoming Ever Ready record. And yeah. Look. When it comes to this music thing, and hip-hop specifically, I think I need to make it clear that I'm more a fan. I'm a fan first and foremost. Followed by a student, followed by a artist myself. But I'm just as much of a fanboy as you. Like, I'm so waiting for this Eminem album. I wish he would fucking drop it. Like, it's been fucking, I think this may have been his longest hiatus. And it's not like he left us like he did with Encore on some bullshit. He can totally stop with his music to be murdered by shit. As far as I'm concerned, that shit is just, it's so fucking far lyrically ahead of everything that it's like, dude, that dude is in his own tier. And that's not me being a stan, maybe it is, but it's also me being a student of the game since I was 6 years old, since I discovered rap. I've loved this shit and I've studied it. And, you know, as a fan of it, I would like to rap along with it. And if you ask any of my friends from way back in the day, they'll tell you that I still do. I have a rare ability to memorize a pretty respectable amount of lyrics, whether it be my own or from a song or whatever, as long as, because what it is, what I found out in recent years, what it is, just thinking with myself and breaking it down, it's not, I'm paying attention to the rhythm and the flow structures followed by the rhyme structure. I'm not thinking about word for word, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about the flow structure, and like every syllable is, and that's how I learned from tech. Like tech, I was listening to Bad Season because Bad Season had just come out at the time, and I was like, I could keep up with that because he had a lot of just acapella stuff, and he's like, I need a hi-hat for that, and I'm like, why does he need the hi-hat? And I'm like, okay, Molotov and them off and them for the double cross him for the double Molotov and them off and for the double cross him, we toss him off and the mossy talk about when he's off, and then we cause him problem after problem, we got him, put him at the bottom and the shot him, caught him, we fought him, we shot him. Is anybody listening? I'm on a mission to dig a ditch and pitch him in the crystal, I'm in the midst of the puppet, whatever. Like, that's how I did that shit, like first try. Like, I'm not bullshitting in those old videos. I was like, that's first try. Like, it was... But that's how I learned. But, and then 2.0 cipher, that's when I was like, all right, I get it. But that was very easy what I did there. A lot of people really liked that track. I still get comments on it, and I'm like, what I did there was really ABC shit. Like, if you really wanted, I could do that shit on a whim. But it's just me holding the same, like, what was it, like 7-syllable multi for just most of the song. And it wasn't, I didn't really say much. I mean, I did, but it was like cryptic. It was like you had to really follow along. Like, I was just learning. I was flying on my own for the first time on that song. Flew out of the nest. Anyways, I don't know why I got it to talking about that, but why was I talking about that? Oh yeah. I'm gonna be unprivating. Well, first, you guys gotta make me a promise. if I unprivate a lot of these videos, you're gonna see why I unprivated them. Because I say some shit in there, it's usually because I say some shit in there that I'm like, Jesus, Trav, what the fuck was that? Like, but it wouldn't be real if because I took them down years after the fact, you know what I'm saying? I've been like I'll go back every once in a while and I'll listen to a thing and be like, oh, fuck that, oh God, and I put it on private. And it's like, that's not real. It'd be real if I had just uploaded it and then put it up, you know what I'm saying? It's me growing up and then cringing at my older self, but I feel like that's part of growing, you know what I'm saying? And if I'm gonna be real here, then that's, and a lot of it is like, for instance, like everybody wants the first part of my LSD trip story. It's not that there was anything that I had that I didn't want to say in there. There's so much of that is me just trying to find the words to say. Like, all you really need is the second part for that. So there's some of that too, where you'll be like, you'll start watching, you'll be like, I'm gonna check this out, and you'll be like, all right, that's pretty dumb. I realize why he but I don't know. But like I said, there's definitely some that I can't, you know what I'm saying, because other people have reached out to me and asked. While we're speaking on YouTube channels, my Just Another Druid channel, my very first YouTube channel, don't get it twisted, I'm wow, pretty regularly and on a pretty high level. We're getting DAX almost under 90 minutes every week, like without DMF. We're pretty much in like 70 minutes every time. We're about to start doing our SAF polarity things where you go in with Thaddeus's charges. But I can't log to, for anyone wondering, I play on Era, on Alliance. I play a character named XZ, just the letters. He's a warrior, Fury Prot, we killing it. I think I'm all Abyss and for everything. I don't have Abyss flask set though, a sippy set. I need to work on that. I got a pretty respectable one though. I got like over 900 dealing with it, but I got everything else besides Gressel for my offset, for my DPS stuff. But I think I got everything. And I wish that I could make videos, but I can't log in because back in 2020, I was in Florida in the middle of my spiral and everything in some hotel room, and this is when I met Jay and Bianca. Those are the two people who you see recording like me when I was buried under the sand there and stuff. That was before they started, you know, fucking with me, or at least before I realized what was happening. But because we were genuinely friends for like a good few weeks there, and then they decided not to be that over money. It's like, you can fuck me one good time, yeah, but I don't think people realize that, hey, maybe actually just being my friend is more beneficial for the both of us. I don't know. I mean, then again, it's like fucked up to only be with friends with somebody for the money, but it's like, I feel like I'm a cool dude. I feel like I'm easy to get along with. I don't know. But Jay stole my phone, and the number that I had from that was a grandfathered AT&T account from 2007, because it was under my mom's name. I was 14, 15 at the time, and I had just busted ass working like 6 months of construction for Darren, my stepdad, to buy the first iPhone. Of course, he stole it later and sold it for crack and whatever. But I remember, so that was 2007, and the account she set up for me, it was like actual unlimited before AT&T started fucking around with their like throttling and all that. It was like actual unlimited. And every time I'd go in to get a new phone to do like an upgrade, I'd make sure to bring that SIM card in with me, because they'd always want me to like sign some bullshit, which was, it was always some bullshit to sign me out of my thing. I'm like, no, I'm good with paying what I'm doing. Just give me the, I got the thing. But the two-factor authentication for that channel is connected to that number, so I can't log in. It's that simple. I've tried everything with, I've even had like fans of mine
Shout out to Jalen if you're watching this. You were helping me with that a little bit. But yeah, no, they won't budge. I feel like it's too late for me to go back and try to like, maybe, can I just go to AT&T and like ask for the number? I texted the number before and called it. Nobody answered and nobody replied. So I don't know if it's some, I feel like if it didn't belong to somebody already, then it wouldn't have rang at all. So I don't know. There's got to be a way to get into that channel. I have all of the other information, just not the phone number. And when I go to, when it asks me for the phone number and I click try another way, it just takes you to this default page of like, we don't have enough information to verify that this is the actual owner. You know what I'm saying? And then when I contact Google, sorry, we don't know what to tell you. So that sucks. I'm working on a website with, if you remember, I mentioned my new Australian friend Jay. I met him on the Sec 9 subreddit, I believe. And he's a really cool dude. He's good with numbers. He likes getting statistics on things and averages. He's a numbers guy. And but I forgot what our original conversation was about, but oh no, he wanted to count every ch that Tech puts in his songs, and I'm like I think I had, that's what it was. We were talking about how to spell it. I had to remember how it was. It was an old video. But we very quickly clicked because he was serious about it. Like, he wanted to go through like every fucking Tech song and like find every chub. But I was like, I had to explain to him that it's like it's basically it's from Michael Jackson, like when because he would say like chum on instead of come on. So it's just yeah, but cha. So CHEAH. But the reason he does it is because you need to breathe. So when you're performing live, that's his second to breathe right there. The cha, like that's the. So that's the purpose of ad-libs. And I don't fuck with people who be punching in. And Eminem, you need to quit with that shit. You need to quit with that shit. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. You be punching in and you know. Quit it. You did it on that. You did it on Rap God. You did it on Godzilla twice. Stop that. It's not cool. It's not cool. If you can't do it right there in front of me, I don't want to hear it. Please don't. Please don't blacklist me. That dude watches everything. Like, you don't think he does until he comes out and says your name and stuff like. I know Token was shitting himself. Oh man, Token and I used to be friends. He blew up, but like we used to talk before. We used to talk back when YouTube had like a messaging system. And he was a cool kid. Token's dope. I love Token, but yeah, no, he's like. M said like, you must be Token if you're thinking, but you must be Token if you think it. Well, how did it go? He's like, but you must be Token if you think you're taking over my quarters. There goes a dime into the jukebox. Like, yeah, but like when he said Token, like the beat cut out, and it was like, because he's another white rapper. You must be Token if you think you're taking over my quarters. There goes a dime into the jukebox. Dime in diamond. I don't know. But I know he was shook on that. But yeah, I do watch everything. Let's see. I have a list here that I'm going through. I want to try stand-up comedy. I've been wanting to try it for a long time, but I'm like 95% certain that it just wouldn't work. Because, like, first, look, I know that just because you're funny around friends and everybody tells you you're funny or whatever, you're hilarious, you're fun to be around, whatever, that does not translate to the stage, always. So there's that easily. Unless you're Patrice O'Neal, it's not going to work. So God, rest in peace. That dude was too real for. There's some people that are just too real, and the universe just kicks them out early. They're like, nah, not yet. They're not ready for you yet. But yeah, it's like I have jokes. I feel like my cadence and my voice and just my inflection, it doesn't land right. Sometimes it does, but rarely. It's not something that I can predict or control. Just like my delivery when it comes to jokes. It's best when it's in a conversation or something, or it's something that I say witty in response to something. I think I do great with crowd work, obviously, just from battling and freestyling and stuff, which I didn't get much into talking about, but that's what I was doing a lot of down in Florida. Like, even Jay and them, they would make money. Like, they would take me around like the hood and whatever, and like I would battle there. They'd be like, yo, like this kid says he can battle you or whatever, and I'd be like, look, if you're good at something, never do it for free. So I usually put like 200 on it. Now, there were some times I got fucked. There were some times that I just got jacked. Like, I got gypped and jacked. Like, it was fucked up. Like, I won, like, clearly. But because whatever, I guess, the people there were biased against something. I don't know. But I remember there was this one kid, Mo. He was a younger kid. And I was kind of keeping an eye on him. He was like a younger black kid, whatever. He was talking about getting face tattoos and stuff and all that. He was like 17. I'm like, bro, nah, bro, just chill. I let him like chill with me for a few days, whatever. But like, even he in that, he watched one of the battles I did down like by a pool at a hotel, and like he like everybody voted for this dude who I just fucking steamrolled, and he was just like, really? And he came back up to my room later that night. He's like, man, you got gypped. That was fucked up. But, you gotta roll with the punches. Sometimes you're not always like. There's always gonna be bias somewhere. It's fine. And one thing that my mom taught me, like, early on, is never gamble more money than you're willing to lose. Like, if you're going to put money down on something like that, just something trivial like a battle or whatever, like, actually, really, if you're going to put money down on anything that you're not certain you're going to get a return investment, you have to invest as much as you're willing to lose and then stop, because after that. So I've never had a gambling problem. Like, even like on WoW and stuff, when people want to like death roll me or something, I'll lose. Like, I'll go until I lose. If I lose once, that's it. I don't do the double nothing. You can talk to me all you want. Fuck you, I'm out. Like, nope. I got that from my mom. I know I sound like a broken record saying it, but. My battery out? Oh no, we're good. But I miss my mom. And it's like, the older I get, the more I start to understand why she did the things she did. And, I'm very thankful that I got to have her as my mother. And, people tell me, pray, she's listening. People tell me, look for signs, look for that. I just want to sit down and talk with her again. And I just want to say I'm sorry. I was going through one of my old lunch with Travis's, just to see what order we're in. And at some point in it, I said, like, I hope my mom dies. It was true at the time. It wasn't a lie. But I didn't realize what I was signing up for. I'm not saying I made it happen or something, but, like, I didn't realize what I was wishing for. But it was true when I said it, because she was in so much pain and she wasn't getting any better, and it was just worse and worse every day, and she was just trapped in her own body. And it's like, how long can you sit here and witness this woman suffer? But when I said it at the time, I knew that, like, it's like, I knew that, like, oh shit, if my mom dies, like, I'm gonna get, like, sympathy points out the ass and whatever, and, like, I don't know what I would, never really thought past that, like, what I would do with that, but, like, at least I'd get, like, sympathy points, like, poor him. I don't know why I wanted it, maybe because I don't know, but after all the, you know, I'm sorry to hear that's are done, just kind of left with the memories. And I'm upset at how little I remember my mother. Even though she was right there. I could have come in there and at least secretly recorded conversations just to save for myself. All I had was her last voicemails, which I uploaded here. It was just like, she was in such dementia, she didn't know if I was talking to her, if it was my voicemail. Of course it was my voicemail, because I was too busy fucking being 18 to answer my phone. And I knew she was in hospice, and the last thing she sent me was a cheesecake with a note that said, you know, I heard you moved into your first apartment, and I hope, I would like it if you'd invite me over. I remember, of course, saying, like, yeah, I'll do that. Knowing that she was gonna die soon. But I was like, it wasn't like I wasn't gonna do it, but I was like, I don't know, it just didn't, I wanted to get away from my mother fucking dying. You know what I'm saying? Is that okay to say? Is that bad? I don't know. I don't know if that's a bad thing to say. That's just where I'm at. And it's like, I have so many questions for her now as an adult. And that's another thing. You know, people call it cute and charming, but I'm a fucking child, dude. I say it as a joke when people ask my age, but I'm 12 with 18 years experience. And there's an Atmosphere song, Slug. He says, it's called Yesterday. It's about his dad passing. It's a beautiful song, but there's a line in there. He says, like, I've been meaning to ask you if I'm doing all right. It's like, that's some real shit. That's something only that I would trust if I heard from my mom. Because she's seen me through all of it. I'm sorry for the tears. These aren't boo-hoo tears. These are... It's been... what, 12 years? 13 years since her... I don't know. But yeah, I want to do stand-up comedy. I think that would... I said that I would tell a story about Sketch. Did I ever tell that story? So I had this golden retriever, right? I'm mentioning this because I something.
Yeah, I was talking about, like, I've never had a dog. I grew up with 2 bull mastiffs, like, when I was very young. Nikki and Merlin. But they died when I was, like, 6 or something. But I also had...
So, for my 7th birthday, my mom says, get in the car, we're going to do a thing. I'm like, alright, bet. She takes me a couple miles up the road, and she brings us to a little farm where they have all these puppy golden retrievers, and they have... The blue ones have... Or the boy ones have blue collars around them, and the girls have pink ones. Or red, whatever, I don't know. But something about this particular boy dog, I was like, this is my boy right here, cool. So I had him, right? I had him for like 10 years. I had him for like 6 months, but when you're, 7 or 8, it's about 10 years. So I didn't know that golden retrievers were notorious for like just venturing off. I mean, it says it in their name, in their defense, where they go and retrieve things. But yeah, he used to hang out in front, and he would skate with me, and he would be like, he wouldn't skate with me, but like he'd hang out front while I'd skate, and he'd like run around and chase me or whatever, and like he'd like kick around a soccer ball with me or whatever. He was my boy. But one night, my mom calls me in for supper, and I was there with my friend. Oh no, I was alone at this time. And I was just with Sketch, but I forgot to let him in, and so a couple hours go by. I'm like, oh shit! So I will go and I open the front door, and he's fucking gone. And we lived in Kerrville, Texas. So if you look at Google Maps, you'll see it's a very hill country place. Residencies are not like right next to each other. It's like spread out and stuff. Especially when you get past the bridge and like it. But so I couldn't go too far looking. At one point, like I had ventured further than I ever had from home at this point, just up in the woods and stuff. And I remember one neighbor was like yelling at me like, I will shoot you if you do not get off our property. I'm like, nigga, I'm 8. Like, please don't. Like, I'm not here to do it. Like, so I just went off, and I remember I got towards the road, and that's when I heard a rattlesnake. I was like, it like stopped me in my tracks. I was like in some thick bush, like some bushes, and yeah, I heard a fucking rattlesnake, and I just stopped, and I was like, okay, the road is like right there. It's like 5 big paces if I just book it. So I did. Fast forward, I'm gonna say 5 or 6 months. I'm hanging out front with an old friend of mine. He's my neighbor, kind of. His name was Jack Porter. And we were like best friends because he was like the only friend within my vicinity that I get to hang out with outside of school. So we hung out on a pretty regular basis. And he was sitting out front skating, and yeah, one day this golden retriever comes prancing up the driveway, and we're like, what the fuck? And it came up, and it was like a full-grown golden retriever, and we're like, hey buddy, and we pet it, whatever, we go inside eventually, and we're like, yeah, it's not our dog, like, we let it go. But the thing is, that was my fucking dog. It didn't hit me until like 2 years later. I'm laying there in bed, I'm like, that was my fucking dog. I was like, that was my dog. It wasn't 2 years later. It was something way longer than that. Because I was in Houston at the time. I remember that. It's that high-rise building. I was laying there in bed. I was like, that was my fucking dog. I just didn't realize it because, first off, he had one of those collars that, like, breaks just from tension if it gets too tight or whatever. So he didn't have his collar on, but also I didn't realize how quickly dogs grew. So the fact that it was like a full-grown golden retriever with, you know what I'm saying? Like, that, that was stupid. And poor thing, poor dude, like, oh shit. He he had to feel so bad. He was like, I found my way home. Travis, how you doing? Like, I never thought I'd see you again. And I'm like, all right, cool, peace. Like, and then he just left. I never saw him again. That's the dog that I had. That's my I miss Casey. I miss Casey a lot. Casey was my boy. But he ran away one day in my first apartment. Just never came back. And Lynn gave the sugar gliders away because, well, in retrospect, it was because she knew that she was about to get caught doing what she was doing, and there wasn't going to be anybody to take care of them because I was too drinking to take care of them. So I had to give Kaori and Zoe away because, well, Lynn gave them away, but I think it's really fucked up that she took, like, she cleared me of everybody. She cleared me of my best friend Owen. Like, I don't even know who else, like, in her family at this point. Like, took away my pets. Like, she stripped me of everything and then left with Owen. Like, with the one person that I had there to call, to rely on if something was going to go down. But I met somebody. And she wants to take things very slowly. But that's okay. I think that's what I need. Because she wants to, like, be very certain that, like, somebody she's with is the person that she's with. Because the person who was with her before ended up, you know, it's not a rare story, but, like, a lot of relationships end because once you've been with somebody long enough, it's only a matter of time before they see every side of you. So if you enter the relationship with a front, it's gonna eventually, that facade is gonna, you know, fail. It's gonna become see-through. So I get it, but I've just been being real with it, and she lives down in Houston, but it's not far away. But somebody hit my car, so I'm having that fixed right now as we speak. At Customs Garage, and I mean, it's not bad. It's just the rear fender, so it's not like the bumper of the fender. It's like actually the body. So I need it professionally done, but I'm having that taken care of right now. But I don't plan on being in here forever, y'all. Like, this is. Don't get me wrong. I love this little room, but it's not where I want to be forever. But I needed it. I've been here for about a year in this room. And if you watch my Clip Smash video, about halfway through, around like 7 minutes or so, like, I showed just the progression I made in here. I think I did a pretty good job. And it's chill, but, you know, sitting within 4 walls will drive you crazy. It's actually why, like, this isn't just, like, this isn't tapestries. These are sound insulated curtains. But it wasn't just for that. It's because behind them it was just so obnoxiously red. Like, it was just, I was like, nah, this is just gonna give me anxiety all the fucking time. I sat with it for like 4 months. I was like, nah, this ain't happening. But, you know, it's just a little shack off in the backyard here at my uncle's place. I mean, the main building's way over there. It's fucking huge. I can go whenever, but like, that's where I go to the bathroom and stuff. So, well, I mean, I've had to take a shit. I've had to pee. Like, if you open the door, the bathroom, or the bath, I guess for me, but it's just a giant fucking backyard. So, but I been looking at some places. I just don't want to rock the boat too much. Because I'm still sober. I'm not drinking. I'm doing good. You know what I'm saying? I'm healthy. I'm getting better every day. And I can't wait for you guys to hear this music that I've made. A lot of it I have to re-record because I recorded it drunk. So, like, it's just, I can't keep it. But it's ready to go. I just got to re-record some of the vocals and stuff. But there's 2 tracks that... So I have 8 tracks for sure that I've made within the last 6 years, which I know isn't much to brag about. But in my defense, I was going through a lot of shit. So to be able to do that within... To squeeze that within all the rehabs and fucking hospitals and psych wards and halfway houses and PHPs and so on. Detox, residential, you name it. But there's one thing that I've done is I have an overflow of material that I need to figure out a way to convince. Because I can't have 6 fucking songs about Lynn, you know what I'm saying? Like, at a certain point, it's like, bro, chill. Like, so. But this last one, I'm working with Adrian Borsum. He's the guy who did a solipsism skit. He's a good dude. I think he's from Norway. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, Adrian. This girl that I met is really good for me, and she's very healthy for me. And you're not gonna believe me if I tell you this, but she's like a hardcore Jehovah's Witness. So I don't think she's all like no sex before marriage or whatever, but like, and we're still not like officially we're into each other, or we hang out as such, like we cuddle and hang out and like share a bed and whatever, we kiss each other, but it's not like, she's still not my girlfriend and I'm not her boyfriend. That's how slow she wants this to be, and it's been like 6 months now, so. But that's okay, because I really like her, like as a person. Because I can get pussy, okay? When you have money, you can get pussy. That's just the fact. And it's not hard. It's just... I realized I was going through my list of things to talk about, and I realized that I forgot to talk about the fact that I fucked a stripper. A black stripper that... it wasn't just a girl who just happened to be a stripper. No, it was at the strip club there in Florida. When Jay and them were taking me around just everywhere. We went to a strip club, and Jay leaned over. He's like, I know that dude's pimp. Like, or I know that girl's pimp. Like, he's like, I know most of these girls pimp. So like, if you want any of them, you know, just let me know. And there was one girl that came up, and I was drunk enough, whatever. She was fucking hot. She looked like Sierra. I remember that. I was like, damn. Like she moved like her and stuff. Like in those like early 2000s music videos and stuff. I was like, damn. But yeah, I was like, that one. And he was like, say no more. And suddenly I'm in the back in like a VIP room. And I mean, I used a condom and everything. It was all, there was no, she put the condom on with her mouth. Like, she didn't even touch my dick with her mouth. Like, but it was very surreal. Like, I remember it being like, it was just all so fast, and all the lights and all the fucking just bass music and everything. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I didn't come. I was just like, okay, this is happening. So that happened. But Kimmy said that she had no problem with me just like moving down there with her, but she lives in Houston, and fuck Houston. Fuck everything about Houston. I hate Houston. I don't want to be in Houston. Everything about Houston sucks. There's nothing good in Houston. I fucking hate Houston. I'm never going back there. Like, I'll visit, but I'm not. Like, just the roads alone are so shit. They, like, piss you off as you're driving, like, subconsciously. Like, you're just, like, constantly just hit, like, even on air suspension, like, my digital air suspension acts very cushiony for air suspension. Because most, like, non-digital air suspension, it is bouncy if you raise it too high. And if it's too low, it's too clunky, but this adapts. It's called a Airlift's V2 system. They also made a V3 system, but you control that with your phone, which I don't like as much as just having a direct, like, actual interface controller that sits in the car. But, yeah, no, it adjusts as you ride. But somebody hit my XB. And, but she's getting taken care of. And I have some, I actually have something very soon regarding that car that isn't necessarily the car itself. If you know, you know. Like, if you've been following me on Facebook or whatever, you've seen it. But it's an almost finished product. And, yeah, I'm definitely going to make a video once the guy is finished with it. And y'all are going to be like, damn, like, holy shit. Like, it's really fucking cool. But I guess I'll end it there. I guess we could hang out for a little while and see if something enters my mind that I'd like to talk about. I owe a lot of my stuff. I didn't mention it, but I do also owe a lot of my continuous stuff because I think he did the interview, or at least I found it after I had already had a few months clean, like within this time span that I'm currently in. I was a few months into it last year, and Tech had an interview because he had to quit drinking for some amount of months, and he's just like, yeah, no, the doctor told me, like, yo, if you keep drinking like that, you're gonna die. And he's like, so I gotta chill it. Like, yeah, so, you know, it sucks. Sometimes I want to at least sip on some wine at dinner, but he's like, you know, it's a couple months, whatever. And I'm like, it's really just that fucking simple. Like, once you get past the physical detox of it, like the physical withdrawal symptoms, it's just like, chill. Addiction is something that you can't avoid, and it's not a phase. It's something that you're either going to take care of or it's going to take care of you. And I've been thinking a lot about quantum immortality. For those that don't know, it's not necessarily a new concept, but it's sort of hit the mainstream within the recent years. And it's the belief that in a nutshell, it is, if the universe is truly infinite, then that implies that because all we are is a collection of memories up to this very moment. That plus a genetic skin sac. Okay? If you were to remove all of your memories, you wouldn't even have a sense of self. You wouldn't even know what self is. You would just be eyes and five senses. So all it takes for there to be another you is for somebody to happen to have your same genetic compound and somebody to just so happen to live the same life you have. And it's like, so then who is really you? If consciousness is one collective thing, the idea is that, you know, all those times that you've died? If the universe is truly infinite, then it implies, indefinitely, it implies that there is an infinite amount of yous out there. That if you go out there in any direction far enough, you will run into yourself a million times, an infinite amount of times over. That's what most people can't wrap their heads around the concept of infinity, because it is everything happening at some point in space, an infinite amount of times, forever. And nature works in fractals. That is, everything is made up of smaller and or larger versions of itself. From the limbs on a tree to us being smaller versions of our parents, it's like... So if we are in a simulation, I think it's naive to think we're in a simulation. We're in a simulation of a simulation of a so on and so forth, and it's... But quantum immortality is something that I can't find a way to poke a hole in. Unless somebody can prove to me that the universe is finite in size. That would help. But this, like, the shitty part of that is it's like, am I really that lucky? Am I as lucky as I think I am, having survived everything I have? Or am I on Travis number 722? You know what I'm saying? Like how many times did I actually fuck up and died? You know what I'm saying? And I know what you're thinking. In case it's something you haven't gone into before, I'm trying to figure out how to set this. In case it's something, like if it's something you haven't really delved into before, your first assumption is like, well, eventually I'm gonna die of old age. Like I can't. A body just can't fucking live forever. You will decay inevitably. But there's a you that's being born right now, bruh. Like right now. So there's a you that's being born 5 seconds from now. There's a you that's being born 6 seconds. That's what infinity implies. It is all things happening at some point in space an infinite amount of times. For instance, here's a story that I didn't tell you guys about. So it's 2018. It was about a month before I'd filmed Religion 20, or no, where am I thinking? What was the thing that I was... It was right before I filmed the thing. But I had gone to the liquor store to get liquor, and it's like, I want to say it's about 11:30 a.m. I dropped Lynn off at work or whatever. So this is back up in Oregon. I'm driving on the freeway, the same freeway that you see me drive in on in like my going home video when I first come into the Rogue Valley, and I'm like tearing up and stuff. Yeah, no. So we were going like, we were in the fast lane, and even though it was like pouring, we were going like 75, almost 80. And I was a fair distance behind this work truck, you know, with like the ladders up on the sides and stuff and whatever and all that. And I shit you not, this ladder comes out. There wasn't a bump in the road. I don't know what caused it. It must have just been the rain and wind. The ladder had come out of the back of the thing. It bounced off the pavement and just went clear over my Lexus. Like if I was in my Scion, like, because the window, like, it's sort of like a school bus almost. Yeah, I would have taken a fucking fuck the Scion. Like if I had left my destination a second later, like it was some Final Destination shit, bruh. And it happened so fast that like, and like when I got home, I was like too focused on just getting drunk again to like really think about it. I've been thinking about that lately. It was like, god damn, like that really fucking happened. And I remember looking up in my rear view and not seeing anybody behind me. Admittedly, it was super rainy and foggy as such, and windy, but I hope everybody behind me was okay. But so it's like, there's a part of me that's like, damn, am I really that lucky? Am I that like special to like, is something watching over me, or am I just on Travis number whatever? I want answers that I know I'll never get. But I was talking with Kimmy, and we sort of came even though she is a devoted Jehovah's Witness, she's open to exploring other ideas, and she's not against it. She doesn't like shun me down when I'm trying to talk to her about things. She's very down to earth, and she's willing to level with me and meet me on my level, and vice versa when she wants to talk about her things, because I do have genuine questions about religion. I do. And she's more than happy to answer them. And she's very sweet, and she's pure. Like, I don't know how else to word it. Like, there's no... She's just real with me. And she's beautiful. Oh, shit! I'm sorry about that. Fuck. Alright, Ren's about to happen. So... Alright, I guess I'll leave you at this one. Yeah, I should probably get that. Alright. Thanks for hanging out. Take care.